Happy Friday, Northern California. ABC 10 meteorologist Brendan Minchef here. There's been a lot of talk about a geomagnetic storm. Could we see the aurora borealis, better known as the northern lights, here in Northern California? It's complicated, yes, but mainly no. First, I want to show you this. This is the sun here in the center, and these are some model observations. Look at the geomagnetic storms that come off of here. So it just restarted. There's one. The Earth is right here on this black dot. There's one, but then look at all the other ones that are headed towards Earth. This was a model run as of this morning. You can see there are many individual coronal mass ejections, CMEs, as they are known, solar flares, a little more informally. There's a very active sunspot complex right now on the sun that has directed all of these CMEs out. So this one is missing Earth, but there's a few, quite a few there that you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 that are actually headed in the direction of Earth. And this is a pretty strong series of CMEs here that are headed towards Earth, and that means we are in for an active aurora. Now, in Northern California, as we run through Futurecast Friday afternoon into Friday night, it's really nothing to see, maybe a few scattered showers down near Yosemite. That's about it. We're not even seeing cloud cover across the region, which means if we could see it, we don't have to worry about clouds. There's also a new moon, which means the sky will be darker than it would be if we had a full moon. But we are just pretty far south, even for a storm of this magnitude. The best viewing, as you might expect, is going to be in Alaska and parts of Canada, parts of the northern United States, where that line starts to, or the colors start to go a little yellow. That's where we'll likely see it, although it'll be fairly low on the horizon and maybe a little bit dim. The red solid line here that you see that passes just north of Northern California, the state line there with Oregon, all the way across the middle part of the United States and up from New York City to the north. That's kind of the line that you would be able to see it with your naked eye. It'd be low on the horizon in somewhere like Boise, Portland, even southern Oregon. It's going to be low on the horizon, but you still have that chance you could see it with the naked eye without any special equipment, anything like that. That line comes from the Space Weather Prediction Center in Boulder, Colorado. However, if you have a long exposure camera, you're kind of a professional photographer, even maybe a space photographer, this is something you enjoy. If you've got the right equipment, the patience, you might be able to capture it with a long exposure camera, especially if you go up in elevation. You go up to the Sierra, away from the lights. You go up to Siskiyou, up to Shasta, away from the lights again. You might be able to capture it on camera. You wouldn't really see it with your naked eye, but because the camera can let in a lot more light than what your eyes can, there's that chance that it would look different, more than just a dark sky. So let's break it down here. We do have a G4 solar storm. That's actually a pretty strong, fairly strong solar storm. It will produce a lot of aurora. There will be an active aurora across parts of Montana, the upper, as we saw, the upper part of the United States, parts of Canada. But here in Northern California, can I see it with my eyes? The answer is going to be mostly no, certainly not in town. Again, you go up somewhere dark, somewhere like the Sierra, somewhere like Siskiyou County, somewhere like Shasta. Again, you got to get away from the city lights. It's got to be dark. If you get away from town, you don't have to worry about city lights. You look to the north horizon tonight, you might see a dim glow, something like city lights off in the distance. It would not be a spectacular shot like what we see in the background here, where the whole night sky is green and blue and yellow and purple. It would not look anything like that. It would look like a very, very dim kind of like looking at city lights off in the distance. That's what you might potentially, possibly be able to see under just exceptional conditions here in Northern California. But like I said, if you have a camera, it is a little bit of a different story. So can I see it with a camera? Possibly. The weather conditions will be good. It really just depends on how the solar storm plays out, right? How it interacts with our atmosphere. Is it coming in as strong as expected? Is it a little weaker? That's why that answer is possibly. But it'll be especially true for professional photographers if you can see it with a camera. Yes. The long exposure camera is what you need. You need a tripod to keep it steady, and you want to keep away from lights. You still got to go away from the city lights, so you still got to go somewhere where it's dark, away from Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, Oakland, San Francisco. You can't be anywhere near that. South Lake Tahoe, Truckee, you got to be out in the dark if you want a chance of seeing it even with a camera. Will we see any impacts out of it beyond just an aurora? Nothing major that operators aren't prepared for. The National Weather Service at the Space Weather Prediction Center has already reached out to folks that need to know if they could be impacted. So grid operators, radio operators, excuse me, in some cases, television broadcasts, things like that, especially the further north you go. Potentially, it could be a little bit of disruptions there, but again, nothing major the operators aren't prepared for. We could see a little bit of possible satellite interference. GPS degradation is possible for a few hours during the strongest part of the storm, but it's not going to be cataclysmic. It's not going to completely wipe out our GPS systems, our satellites, nothing like that. We're not looking at any widescale, widespread disruptions. It's not that level storm. This is not a historic, dangerous solar flare storm with CME. It's just nothing like that. On social media, you don't believe the worst of everything you read. These are the facts right here. Can you see it with your naked eyes? Not really. The answer is definitely not in town. Can you see it with a camera? Possibly, especially if you've got all the right equipment. And again, will there be impacts? Your day-to-day job, likely not going to be impacted. In fact, you'll wake up on Saturday morning, and if you didn't see the aurora, you might not even know that a solar storm was happening. If you do plan on going out somewhere dark to try and see it, here's a few tips. Bring a red flashlight with you because the red light helps to preserve your night vision. Instead of a bright white or yellow light, the red is dim. You can't see quite as well with it, but that's because it's a darker light. Your eyes don't have to constantly adjust between looking at the sky and what you might be shining with your red flashlight. So bring that with you. Bring a hot drink. It's a good way to stay warm and awake. So maybe some hot chocolate, a little coffee, something like that, something warm, maybe some tea. So some warm clothes. Even though we're in the 90s this afternoon, overnight tonight, we will see temperatures dropping back into the 50s. So yeah, even in summer, it can get a little chilly late at night, especially away from town up in the high country. And bring a chair too. Looking up can strain your neck. So if you are going to be looking up into the sky, if you're going to be out there for a while with a camera, bring a chair somewhere you can sit just so you stay comfortable. There you go. Those are the facts. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on the ABC 10 Plus app, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, I highly recommend the ABC 10 Plus app. We've got in-depth forecasts there, explainers, weather specials, including a new one that just went up within the last week. The future of California's water. That's, again, on the ABC 10 Plus app, live, local, always on. That's Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Thanks for watching.